Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 2009-10 hockey season replay on the channel. Block 37 takes us to Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. and Inside the Crease Hockey for an Eastern Conference matchup between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Washington Capitals. The Capitals are leading this one 3-2 at the start of the third period as Philip Reynolds is first to join us here at Capital One Arena. Taking a quick look at the standings here, it's actually a Southeast division matchup as well. The Capitals, this is their division to lose right now. 49 wins, 15 losses, 3 overtime losses, good for 101 points on the replay. As for Tampa Bay, well, they're not doing so hot. 29 wins, 28 losses, and 9 overtime losses, 67 points on this replay. Now, before we jump into tonight's action, it's actually going pretty well. First of all, it's going pretty well, Philip. Hopefully you're doing well here tonight, too, and you're ready to enjoy a little bit of Thursday night hockey. Before we jump into Thursday night hockey, though, I do want to talk a little bit. Ovechkin is actually going to be taking the ice here in a little bit. Before we jump in, though, he's on the first line, so he's already here in Washington. Before we jump in, I do want to talk a little bit about something I've been kind of tap dancing around for a little while here in terms of the future of Inside the Crease Hockey as one of my main hockey systems for replays on the channel moving forward. I was getting a little bit clever with Inside the Crease because I really wanted to feature this system, so I came up with the idea of using ChatGPT to give me third period situations. The problem comes in because it's a mixed system replay where I'm only playing the third period with Inside the Crease, but with Strat, I'm playing full games. So what I've done inadvertently is I've created essentially 2 different replays where you've got teams that are stuck in the third period only mode of Inside the Crease versus the full games of Strat. I was trying to mitigate that with featuring each team at least once on the board in each system. Unfortunately, the scheduling has not completely cooperated with that. As such, it's kind of left me feeling like the standings for this replay were a little bit compromised. But what we're going to do is we are going to finish out this replay, this mixed system replay, as we've been doing it moving forward, so alternating between Inside the Crease and Strat. But what I'm going to do is this season, when it's done, is actually going to go back into the selection cards, or into the selection, I should say, to potentially be replayed again. Because I'm going to figure out what hockey system is going to be my main system moving forward, or what I want to do with the various hockey systems I've got, and B, I don't want to have any more of these mixed replays. And I'm getting the feeling more and more that Inside the Crease just is not going to work as a backbone project, as a backbone system when I do hockey replays on the channel. So, just to clarify what's going on, we are finishing the replay, but I have to decide what I'm going to do with Inside the Crease moving forward. So, enough of the rambling there. Let's say we bring the teams to center ice, and we'll drop the puck for this one. Face-offs are even. Hopefully that made a little bit of... Hopefully that makes sense to everybody watching this video. And Philip, if you have any questions on that, feel free to ask, or anybody who's watching this, feel free to leave questions either in chat or in the comment section down below, and during stoppages of play, we'll kick them around. Face-offs here are even, though. That'll be a +4 over to Pody, as Theodore goes falling here already, and we're off to start the third period. That'll get passed up to Newble. Takeaway of the center's take is greater than or equal to 2. LeCavalier is a 3. He'll take that puck away. That'll go over to Hedman. Loose puck of the right D's hit is greater than or equal to 3. Pody's a 2. A 6 for Hedman. That'll be a shot 0 on Theodore. A 28 on shot 0. That'll be a rebound chance. That'll be the home right wing back to Newble. Taking off time here. Passing over to Schultz. Takeaway of the right wing's take is greater than or equal to 4. St. Louis is a 4. He will take that away. Passing over to Hedman. Forced dumping at the lefties. Defense is greater than or equal to 7. Schultz is a 4. A 24, that'll be a pass by Hedman. He'll move that up to LeCavalier. 18-20 to play. Passing over to Hedman. Penalty at the lefties. Penalty is greater than or equal to 5. Schultz is a 2. 12, that'll be a giveaway. Center break greater than or equal to 1. Backstrom's a 4. He's in alone on Smith. We'll check a shot 5. 31 on a shot 5. That will be a rebound chance. Big play there by Smith. And visiting right wing, that'll be St. Louis picking that up. Taking off time here. And we'll do our first set of line changes. Of course, St. Louis waiting with the puck. He will make his move and then get off the ice with it. Passing over to Oland. Forced dumping at the right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 4. Bradley's a 3. Actually, yeah, right wing. Bradley's a 3. A 28, that'll be a pass by Oland, as that'll move up to Stamkos. Ticking off time, 17:40 to play. That'll pass back to Oland. Interception of the center and right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 9. They're a 6. 21, that'll be a pass. And that'll move over to Walker. 17:20 to play. That'll pass up to Stamkos. Takeaway if the right D's take is greater than or equal to 6. Morrison's a 2. 14, that'll be a shot 2 on Theodore. 67 on a shot 2. Theodore will make the save. He'll hold on and we'll get the face-off. That face-off will come to the right of Theodore. Face-offs are +2 to Tampa Bay. +7 will pull it over to Leitch for Washington, and we're off once again. That'll get passed over to Green. Forced dumping at the lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 5. Oland's a 4. 25, that'll be a pass by Green. He'll move that over to Morrison. 16:40 to play. That'll get passed up to Bradley. Takeaway of the left wing's take is greater than or equal to 6. Malone's a 3. 9, that'll be a shot 3 on Smith. 44 on a shot 3. And score! Matt Bradley giving the Capitals, once I find the remote for the scoreboard. Here it is. A 4-2 lead. Arena cheers. Yay! So that'll be Bradley from Green. And we'll flip. We got to burn a card before we check for an assist. Semin has an assist rating high enough, so Semin will get the other assist on that one. As Washington now opens up a 4-2 lead here in the third. Once again, if you're just joining us here at Capital One Arena, this is going to be the first and the last replay with Inside the Crease as a main backbone of the project. You can go back and watch the intro where I explain a little bit more about that, and I'll explain more in detail during Pinot with Phoenix at the end of this month about why this is going to be the first and last replay with Inside the Crease as the main backbone of a hockey project. Anywho, coming back to center ice, faceoffs are +2 to Tampa Bay. That'll be Downey with it for the Lightning, and we're off once again. That'll get passed over to Malone. Forced dumping at the right D's defense is greater than or equal to 7. Morrison's a 4. 29, that'll be a pass. And that'll move over to Stamkos. Just in time for another set of line changes. Stamkos will make his move with the puck, and then he'll go off the ice. That'll get passed over to Foster. Penalty if the lefty's penalty is greater than or equal to 2. Potier is a 1. 17 for Foster. That'll be a shot 0 on Theodore. That'll be an 82, and Theodore will drop that off for Jersina to pick that up. 15:40 to play. That'll get passed up to Fleischmann. Interception of the right wing and right D's defense greater than or equal to 5. It is. That'll force an errant pass onto Halpern's stick. Ticking off time. Passed over to Foster. Loose puck if the center's hit is greater than or equal to 2. Morrison is a 2, so that'll be a hit. That'll be a loose puck. And we'll have a face-off coming. I don't play with injuries. We'll take that just out of center ice. If Inside the Crease doesn't work, what other system could I use besides Strat? I've also got Stone Cold Hockey and Shootout Hockey, which are more highlight-based, but those would be my 3 main systems. The big problem I have with these replays is the feature games have to fit within a fairly tight window. The window is usually about an hour and a half of a video, and that's going to include teardown and ticker time, because I do run the ticker with the games as well, because there's no way I'm playing every single game in a season schedule. I'm still going to keep the block structure that I've adapted with baseball and football. Football's a little bit easier because I've essentially got a built-in scheduling block with each week of the season. But it's a little bit harder for baseball. It works for boxing as well, because each bout in the boxing tournament is essentially its own event, so I don't need a ticker for that. Whereas with baseball and hockey, it's a little bit harder because I've got to divide out the schedule blocks by the day, essentially. I'll play one feature game per 4 days of baseball or hockey, and then fast play the rest via Final Score Hockey for hockey, or I'm probably going to start using ultra quick baseball along with the clutch rolls from Fast Score, because I don't want extra innings to go all night. The main reason I'm going to use ultra quick rather than Fast Score for baseball is because I can keep the ticker in Excel and have all the formulas set up in there. So that's a long-winded way, essentially, Philip, of saying that the systems I'd be using would be Strat, Stone Cold, and Shootout Hockey. I got rid of Appa Hockey as well. I traded that to Jester a while back, and that's going to be an even longer play than probably Inside the Crease is. And I found Appa to be a bit of a cumbersome mess, even when I tried to get a third period situation out of that. So Stone Cold usually takes 30 to 40 minutes, not including setup. So that's probably a system I could throw 2 games in per block and then run ticker after that. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem there. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit here. Let's jump right back into the action. Faceoffs are +1 to Washington. Morrison gets kicked out. Faceoffs are now +2 to Tampa Bay, as Halpern will have that for the Lightning, and we're off once again. That'll get passed over to Zachura. Forced dumping if the left wing's defense is greater than or equal to 6. Fleischmann is a 3. 34 will be a pass. And that'll move over to Halpern. 14:40 to play. Passing over to London. Loose puck if the right wing's hit is greater than or equal to 8. Fair is a 2. 9, that'll be a giveaway. Left wing break greater than or equal to 3. Fleischmann's a 5. He's in alone on Smith with a shot 5. That's an 8 on a shot 5, and score! Thomas Fleischmann makes Smith go cold and gives the Capitals another goal, as the Capitals now lead 5-2. Arena cheers. Yay! Burning a card, and we'll get assists. Fair's got a high enough assist rating. And Jersina does as well. How long does a Hockey Bones game take? I honestly have no idea how long a Hockey Bones game takes. That was another system I was looking into, but based on the couple of videos that I watched RJL do on Hockey Bones, I have a feeling that's going to be a system that takes even longer to do, which also means I'd run into the same problem if I want to use it as a backbone. I'd need a third period situation where I'd run into the same problem that I do here, because I'm also running into inherent randomness with ChatGPT giving me the random game situations. So basically, whatever situation it dumps me into becomes the reality for the game. The problem is actually even worse for football, it turns out, where the main systems that I've got for football the main play-by-play systems I've got APA football, season ticket football, 5D20 football, and I think I've got one more. Those are the big three that I'm going to run into even more problems with, because there I need fourth quarter situations. And I run into the same problem there. Momentum football actually works out fine, because I have done that when I did 1972, I used momentum football to do that replay. So I won't have any problems running momentum football other than as replays, other than the game's feeling samey. I do also have Glory Days Pro Football as well, so I do have so I do have at least another couple options on that front. And I'll spoil it right now, but I'm thinking when we get to the winter season and my executive pick, I'm thinking we're probably going to be doing either baseball or not basketball, or boxing, and I'm leaning toward baseball, but I'm getting more than a little ahead of myself because we still have a fair amount of hockey left to play in this replay. Face-offs are +1 to Washington after the breakaway goal by Fleischmann. Speaking of Fleischmann, he will have the puck, and we're off once again. That'll go over to Jersina. Takeaway if the left wing's take is greater than or equal to 8. Velo's a 3. 14, that'll be a pass. That'll move up to Morrison, and we've got line changes once again. That'll get passed over to Schultz. Interception of the center and right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 10. They're a 4. 9, that'll be a pass by Schultz. And that'll move up to Chimera. 13:40 to play. That'll get passed over to Schultz. Loose puck if the right D's hit is greater than or equal to 2. Mazzaros is a 4. That'll be a loose puck situation. Right back to Schultz. 13:20 to play. Passing over to Pody. Interception of the center and left wing's defense is greater than or equal to 8. They're a 3. Pody will have that with a 15. That'll be a pass. Back to Schultz. 13 minutes to play. Passing up to Clark. Takeaway of the left wing's take is greater than or equal to 3. Fedoruk is a 1. 16. That'll be a shot 0 on Smith. An 80 on a shot 0. That'll get dropped off by Smith. And that'll be Hedman tracking that one down for Tampa Bay. Ticking off time. That'll move up to Fedoruk. Force dumping if the right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 1. Clark is a 2. That'll get dumped in. And we'll have a puck battle. Offensive left wing +3 versus defensive right D. The +3 will give that back to Fedoruk. 12:20 to play. Passing over to right. Loose puck if the lefty's hit is greater than or equal to 8. Schultz is a 3. An 18, that'll be a pass by right. That'll move over to Konopka. 12 minutes to play, and we've got line changes once again. All right, Konopka with it. He will pass that over to St. Louis. Penalty if the left wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 6. Ovechkin is a 3. 40, ooh, that's an assist chance by St. Louis. Setting up LeCavalier with a 29. That'll be a shot 1 on Theodore. 42 on a shot 1. Theodore will make the save. He'll hold on, and he'll get the face-off. Sorry about that. I think the Velcro caught my boxer pants just so, and ended up unplugging, and ended up jarring the battery loose just enough to where it came undone. So as I was getting ready to say, before the battery decided, hey, it didn't feel like working for a second, I did see your comment, Philip, about trying Hockey Blast. I actually do have a season that I got from Jester quite a while ago. I played it a little bit. My initial impression was kind of but maybe I'll pull it out again and try it on the channel again at some point. Actually coming up pretty soon here. I could probably work that in during the off season coming up from this replay. And where were we? Trying to remember where we... Oh, right. I think Theodore had just held on to the puck for the face-off. Let me grab a quick drink here, and then we'll continue. So yeah, I'll probably look into putting Hockey Blast on the channel at some point during the off-season. But let's jump back in here. Face-offs are +1 to Washington. +1, but also the home team won't save that for Tampa Bay. That'll be Ovechkin with the puck, and we're off and running. Passing down to Green. Loose puck if the right wing's hit is greater than or equal to 2. St. Louis a 1. 34, that'll be an assist chance. Setting up Morrison with a 37. That's going to get shot wide, so we'll have a loose puck. Offensive right wing versus defensive right D +1. Because of home team, Newble will have that for Washington. 11:20 to play. Passing over to Green. Loose puck if the lefty's hit is greater than or equal to 7. Oland is a 4. 36, that's an assist chance. Setting up Morrison with a 35. That's going to get shot wide again. Offensive center versus defensive right D. Steckel will have that because of home team advantage. Taking off time. That'll get passed over to Morrison. Takeaway if the lefty's take is greater than or equal to 6. Oland is a 3. 16, that'll be a pass. And that'll go back to Steckel. 10:40 to play. That'll get passed back to Morrison. Loose puck if the left wing's hit is greater than or equal to 4. Tanguay is a 2. 30, Morrison's going to make another pass. And that'll go up to Ovechkin. 10:20 to play. Passing down to Green. Interception of the center and right wing's defense is greater than or equal to 5. LeCavalier and St. Louis are a 5. And that'll be St. Louis picking that puck off for Tampa Bay. 10 minutes to play here in the third. Right. Okay, St. Louis with the puck. He will move that over to Malone, and now he'll get off the ice. Loose puck if the right D's hit is greater than or equal to 4. Jersina is a 4, so he will jar that puck loose. Home center, that'll be Leitch with it for Washington. 9:40 to play. Passing over to Semin. Takeaway if the right wing's take is greater than or equal to 6. Downey's a 3. 39, that'll be an assist chance by Semin. That'll get moved over to Leitch with a 26. That'll be a shot 2 on Smith. 27 on a shot 2 is a rebound chance. Defensive right D, Foster with it for Tampa Bay. Moving up to Stamkos. Interception of the lefty and right D's defense is greater than or equal to 5. They're a 6. That'll force an errant pass onto Bradley's stick. 9 minutes to play here in the third. Passing over to Semin. Interception of the right wing and right D's defense greater than or equal to 10. They're a 5. A 10 for Semin. That'll be a shot 3 on Smith. 48 on a shot 3. That'll be a save by Smith. He'll hold on, get the face-off. We'll take that face-off to the right of Smith momentarily. Anniversary is this Sunday. Very nice, Philip. How long, if you don't mind my asking, how long have you been married for? Face-offs are +2 to Tampa Bay, though. Hopefully you'll mind if I stick a little bit to business here. I will come back to your response when we get to a stoppage and play. A +8 will very much pull that over to Leitch for... Oh, before we jump into the action, I normally mention this at after the 10-minute mark of the third period in Inside the Crease. Block 38 is going to be back in Stratomatic hockey. That'll be tomorrow. I haven't decided what game yet, though, because we'll decide that when we get into the standings after we do final score tonight. 1-year anniversary. Congratulations on that, Philip. So we're over to Leitch, and we're off and running once again. 8:40 to play. That'll pass over to Potier. Loose puck if the lefty's hit is greater than or equal to 5. London's a 2. 26, that'll be a pass by Potier. That'll move up to Semin. 8:20 to play. Passing over to Jersina. Forced dumping if the center's defense is greater than or equal to 5. Stamkos is a 3. 10 for Jersina, that's a giveaway. Right wing break greater than or equal to 5 or 9. Downey's a 5. And we'll have line changes, so no break for Downey, since his breakaway rating wasn't high enough. That'll get passed over to Velo. Takeaway if the left wing's take is greater than or equal to 2. Fleischmann is a 3. He'll take that away. 7:40 to play. Passing over to Poti. Penalty if the lefty's penalty is greater than or equal to 3. Hedman is a 3. 27 is a pass. That'll get touched up, though. And an 11, Hedman will go off for 2 minutes for hooking. So we'll get a change on Tampa Bay's defense pairings. And then we'll have a power play for Washington coming up, as the Lightning will go without a center for the next 2 minutes. That'll make faceoffs +2 to Washington. Let's just make sure that didn't freeze on me. Okay, good. I'm going to bring a deck in as well, since I'm probably not... Actually, before we do that... Nope, we're fine on... I'm keeping an eye on my laundry as well, because it is a Thursday night, so I'm trying to keep that rolling. Anyway, faceoffs are +2 to Washington. Morrison gets kicked out. Faceoffs are now +1 to Tampa Bay. That will be the left D, so that'll be over to Oland. And we're off as Tampa Bay starts on the penalty kill. Passing over to Walker. Interception of the center left wing's defense is greater than or equal to 6. They're a 5. A 28. Walker will clear that the length of the ice. And Schultz will track that down for Washington. 7 minutes to play. Passing over to Poti. Penalty if the center's penalty is greater than or equal to 5. There is no penalty. 39, that'll be an assist chance for Poti. Setting up fair with a 33. That'll be a shot 3 on Smith. 65 on a shot 3. Save made by Smith. He'll hold on, get the face-off in the face of a pressing Washington power play. Although they don't need to press too much, they've got a 3-goal lead here late in the third. Face-offs are back to being +2 to Washington. That'll be Fleischmann with it for the Capitals, and we're off once again. Passing over to Morrison. Penalty if any defender's penalty is greater than or equal to 8. Walker, we'll go with Zachura, actually, is a 32. A 2, though, on the power play. That's going to be a shot 5 on Smith. 9 on a shot 5. Score! Brendan Morrison giving the Capitals a power play goal and a 6-2 lead. Arena cheers. Yay! And the penalty is over, as the Lightning cannot get out of their own way tonight. We'll flip over a couple cards to see if we can get some assists out of this. Well, first we're burning a card. Now we'll check for Schultz, and he will get an assist. As will. Fourth highest. Let's see. We will call that Poti this time. Wow, says Philip. Well, the thing you have to remember, Philip, is ChatGPT gave me a 3-2 Capitals lead to start. Washington has since added 3 more goals here in the third period. So this one is not going to be close at all. And also, I need a small break here so I can go check laundry. I will be right back. All right. So we are back here. And I'm not sure what Philip is saying nope to in chat, since I did have to step away for a little bit to get laundry. But hopefully you guys are enjoying a little bit of Thursday night hockey here on the channel. After the power play is over, faceoffs are now +1 to Washington. Halpern gets kicked out. Faceoffs are now +2 to Washington. That'll be Schultz with it for the Capitals, and we're off once again. That'll get passed up to Morrison. Interception of the lefty and righty's defense greater than or equal to 11. They're an 8. A 13 for Morrison. That'll be a giveaway. Right wing break greater than or equal to 6. Zachura has no breakaway, so he's not going to break in on Theodore alone. Instead, we will have line changes. All right, that'll get passed over to Fedoruk. Penalty if the lefty's penalty is greater than or equal to 4. Morrison is a 3. 19 for Fedoruk. He's going to make a pass on that, and that'll move over to right. 5:40 to play here in the third. Passing over to London. Takeaway if the center's take is greater than or equal to 6. Steckel's a 3. 15, that'll be a pass by London, as that'll move up to Konopka. Tampa Bay needs to get something going here and really light a fire under themselves here. That'll get passed over to right. Penalty if the lefty's penalty is greater than or equal to 4. Green is a 2. A 4, that's going to be a shot 1 on Theodore. That will be a 20 on a shot 1. Rebound chance. Defensive right D over to Morrison. 5 minutes to play here in the third period. Passing up to Clark. Interception of the left wing and lefty's defense is greater than or equal to 10. They're a 5. A 9, that'll be a shot 1 on Smith. 45 on a shot 1. That'll be a save made. Smith will hold on. We'll get the face-off. Face-offs are +1 to Washington here to the left of Smith. And that'll be over to Clark. And we're off and running once again. 4:40 to play here in the third. Passed over to Morrison. Penalty if the left wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 7. Fedoruk is a 5. 23 for Morrison. That'll be a pass. That'll move up to Chimera as the Capitals are looking to chew up clock. 4:20 to play here in the third. Passed over to Green. Penalty if the right wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 2. Right is a 2, so we're going to have a possible penalty. A 33. That'll be an assist chance, though. Setting up Morrison with a 21. That's going to get shot wide, so that'll get touched up. We'll check the penalty on right. That's a 24, so he is going off for 2 minutes for hooking. As Tampa Bay continuing to shoot themselves in the foot. They have already given up 1 power play goal. Will they end up making it a second here? We're going to find out very shortly. Face-offs are +1 to Washington. I just felt something buzz on my watch. I'm going to check my other timer real quick. Everything looks fine there. Okay. I think we can keep things rolling here. Face-offs once again, +1 to Washington. Both players get kicked out, so face-offs are still +1 to Washington. That'll be a win by Chimera, just in time for another set of line changes. Okay, got to flip over a card for Chimera. That'll get passed over to Jersina. Penalty if any defender's penalty is greater than or equal to 16. We'll go with LeCavalier being at a 30. A 5 on the power play. That's going to be a shot 1 on Smith. 25 on a shot 1's a rebound chance. Offensive center versus defensive center +5. That'll be LeCavalier getting that puck. He'll touch it up, and it's Lecavalier we're checking on anyway. Actually, it is Lecavalier. A 33, Lecavalier is going off now. We're going to have some 5-on-3 action. 2 minutes for Lecavalier for holding. As now the Capitals have an opportunity to really stick the knife in here very deep. Faceoffs are +4 to Washington. That'll go over to Newble, and we're off once again as we've just done line changes. That'll get passed over to Ovechkin. Uh-oh. Penalty if the right D penalty greater than or equal to 7. Mazzaros is a 2. And 11 for Ovechkin. That's a shot 5 on Smith. That is a very bad thing if you're a Lightning fan. 54 and score. Alex Ovechkin, because Smith is cold, will help the Capitals open up a 7-2 lead. Arena cheers. Yay! Let's see, that was Ovechkin from Newble. And we'll flip a card. Backstrom has a high enough assist rating, so he will get the other assist. Yep. So the Capitals now, with a 7-2 lead, taking advantage of at least one of the penalties. Faceoffs now are still +4 to Washington. +2 won't be enough to pull that away from Ovechkin, and we're off once again. That'll get passed over to Newble. Loose puck if the right wing's hit is greater than or equal to 3. St. Louis is a 1. 14, that'll be another shot 5 on Smith. 68 on a shot 5. Smith will make the save. He'll hold on, get the face-off. Face-offs once again, +4 to Washington. This Capitals power play is on the march. A +5, we'll pull that over to Mazzaros for the Lightning, and we're off. That'll get passed. Actually, Mazzaros will hold on to that. Loose puck if the center's hit is greater than or equal to 5. Backstrom's a 2. An 8, shorthanded. That'll be a pass, as that'll move up to St. Louis. 2:40 to play here in the third. Passing over to Tanguay. Loose puck if the right D's hit is greater than or equal to 7. Jersine is a 4. A 32. Tanguay will clear that the length of the ice for Potier to track down. 2:20 to play here in the third. Passing up to Ovechkin. Interception if the right wing and right D's defense is greater than or equal to 6. They're a 7. An errant pass from Ovechkin will go to Tanguay. And we've got line changes. So the Capitals do get one on their extended on their extended power play. But that's also the 2-minute warning for play here in the third period. Okay, Tanguay with it. He'll get off the ice once he makes his move with it. That'll pass over to Walker. Interception if the center and left wing's defense is greater than or equal to 10. They're a 6. A 26 for Walker. That'll be a pass. That'll move up to Malone. 1:40 to play here in the third. Passing over to Downey. Penalty if the right wing's penalty is greater than or equal to 5. Bradley's a 2. An 18. That'll be a giveaway. No break for Semin. 1:20 to play here in the third. Passing over to Bradley. Interception of the left wing and lefty's defense greater than or equal to 9. They're a 7. 23, that'll be a pass by Bradley. And that'll move up over to Schultz. 1 minute left to play in the third period. 1 minute. Passing up to Leitch. Interception of the lefty and right D's defense greater than or equal to 12. They're an 8. 21 for Schultz. That'll be a pass. That'll actually, for Leitch, a 21 will actually be a shot 0. A 1 on a shot 0 is a rebound chance. Offensive left wing, Simmons got that with a 17. That'll be a shot 4. 37 on a shot 4. Another rebound. Home left wing, Simmons got it with a 20 now. That's another shot 4. An 80 on a shot 4. Smith will make the save. He'll hold on, get the face-off. But I think this game is pretty well over at this point, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm just getting the ticker ready to go here. Face-offs are +2 to Tampa Bay. +1 will keep that with Stamkos, and we're off. 40 seconds left here in the third period. That'll be passed over to Walker. Loose puck if the center's hit is greater than or equal to 1. Leach is a 3. He'll jar that puck into a loose puck situation. Offensive left D versus defensive right wing +3. Bradley will have that for Washington. 20 seconds to play. Passing over to Leach. Interception if the left D and right D's defense greater than or equal to 9. They're an 8. 31, that'll be a pass by Leach. That'll move over to Semin. Ticking off time. Brrr! There's the horn, and the Washington Capitals just teed off on the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, as they will take that game by a final score of 7-2. Arena cheers. Yay! Capitals did not remotely need overtime. They could have done this one in their sleep. And they probably did it with the way the score was. Anyway, as usual, I'm going to do my cleanup, and then we will have final score hockey to get to by our friends at Downey Games. So bear with me while I do my cleanup. What I will talk about as I'm cleaning up a little bit is I've been watching the timer on my OBS as I've been going through tonight's stream. And I'm seeing that even with the ramble that I had, I'm clocking in a little over 44 minutes on tonight's stream with the with the early stream ramble that I had, where I was talking a little bit about what I've been seeing with this replay and the way I've been doing it. So if I extend that out over three periods, so let's say it takes about the same amount of time to reset the lines, get the fast action decks reshuffled for the next period of the game, all that good stuff. By the time I factor that in, I'm probably right around the 2-hour mark for a game of Inside the Crease. Even with all the experience I've been gaining, factor in another 20 minutes of ticker time on the high side, I'm looking at 2 hours, 20 minutes of video. On a work night, I just can't justify doing that every night for the course of 3 months or however long a replay usually takes. I started this replay back at the start of July. So yeah, doing a 2-hour video every night doing a 2-hour video for the length of a replay every night, I can't justify that. So I think I was going to do one of the games of Inside the Crease this weekend at full speed, but I think even just looking at tonight's video of the third period, stretching that out into what the 3 periods would be, I just can't justify that, to be perfectly honest. Now, that is far from a knock on Inside the Crease Hockey, because I will say that that as a game system, I really do enjoy the depth of game that Inside the Crease Hockey gives you. This is not a knock on Inside the Crease as a game itself. As a game engine, I really enjoy Inside the Crease. It's not even necessarily a knock. I'm searching for the word I want, but knock is definitely not it. I think the way I want to put it is it's more of a constraint that I've got within my personal replay requirements, where I can't make Inside the Crease work as a backbone for a full season replay project without having to make significant compromises, like chopping the game up into giving me just the third period without having to give me just the third period of the game, or some other consideration. Maybe only playing it on weekends. Where I'm going with it is I just cannot make Inside the Crease work as a main replay system engine, is where that ramble is ultimately going. And let's see here. Looks like they are both done. So bear with me just a second. I'm going to get I'm going to go get the last of my laundry, and I'm going to get a refill of my drink before we have Final Score Hockey. All right, once I find the charts for Final Score Hockey, we are all set for that tonight, which I've got those right here. So now it's time to see how the rest of the NHL fared, and to do that, we're going to ask our friends at Downey Games using Final Score Hockey how the rest of the NHL fared. So the Capitals put a beating on the Lightning by a final score of 7-2. I'm going to grab my paper copy of my ticker over here as well, so I've got that ready to go. Mainly so it can help me pick our next feature game, but let's see how the rest of the NHL fared here in Block 37. We are starting on March 12th, 2010 with the Predators and the Ducks. Nashville, G42, let me grab my pen. Well, some pointer. G42 is 3. Anaheim, actually, no, they're G22. That is 2. Anaheim, L42, that is 3. And that's a pressure situation for Nashville. Nashville is a C under pressure. A C52 won't do anything for Nashville, though. Anaheim will take that one, 3-2. Rangers at the Thrashers. Rangers, G56, that is 4. Atlanta, K15, that is 2. Rangers will double up the Thrashers, 4-2. Wild and the Sabres. Minnesota, F46, that is 3. Buffalo, J52, that is 4. That's a pressure situation for Minnesota. The Wild is an E under pressure. An E33 won't help Minnesota, though. Buffalo will win that one, 4-3. Kings at the Stars. Los Angeles, I-41, that is 3. Dallas, L62, that is 5. Dallas will take a 5-3 victory away from Los Angeles. Penguins at the Devils. Pittsburgh, H46, that is 3. New Jersey, I-53, that is 4. That's a pressure situation for Pittsburgh. The Penguins are a C under pressure. C16 won't help Pittsburgh, though. New Jersey will take that one, 4-3. On to March 13th. Coyotes and the Hurricanes. Phoenix, G36, that is 2. Carolina, L14, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Phoenix is a B, Carolina's an E. Phoenix can't do anything with a B45, neither can Carolina with an E13, which means that game is going to overtime. Carolina with a chance to win first. And L52 will get it done for Carolina. They will take a 3-2 victory out of that one. St. Louis and Columbus are both I's. The Blues roll an 11, that is 0. Columbus rolls a 15, that is 1. And that's a pressure situation for St. Louis. The Blues are a D under pressure. A D12 won't do anything for St. Louis, though. Columbus will get the 1-0 shutout. Sabres and the Red Wings. Buffalo, H54. H54 is 4. Detroit, K52. That is also 4. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are C's under pressure. C13 won't help Buffalo, and a 46 won't help Detroit. That game is going into overtime. The Red Wings have a chance to win first. A K63 will most definitely get it done for Detroit. They will take that one 5-4 in overtime. Boston at Montreal. Bruins, G52, that is 3. Montreal, K25, that is 2. And that's a pressure situation for Montreal. The Canadiens are an E under pressure. An E31 won't help Montreal, though. Boston will take that one 3-2. Devils and the Islanders. New Jersey, G33, that is 2. Islanders, K11 is 0. The Devils will get a 2-0 victory from the Islanders. Blackhawks and the Flyers, rematch from this season's demo game. And Chicago sure looks like they wanted this one. K62, for Chicago that is 5. Philadelphia, L14, that is 2. And yes indeed, the Blackhawks got that one 5-2. Panthers at the Sharks. Florida, E25, that is 1. San Jose, L16, that is 2. And that's a pressure situation for Florida. The Panthers are an E under pressure. An E64 might let them score. San Jose with a B42. They can't stop it. Florida will score. And we are tied at 2 heading into overtime. But San Jose with a chance to win first. San Jose with an L33 can't get it done. Florida can't do anything with an E13 either, which means that game is headed to a shootout. Both teams are D's in the shootout, round 1. Neither team will score, round 2. Florida will score, San Jose will not, round 3. Florida scores here or San Jose doesn't, it's over. And Florida will get the win with that one, 3-2 in the shootout. Oilers and the Maple Leafs. Edmonton, H42. H42 is 3. Toronto, D16, that is 1. Edmonton will take a 3-1 victory. Ottawa at Vancouver. Senators, E45, that is 2. Vancouver, N45, that is 4. The Canucks will double up the Senators 4-2. On to March 14th. San Jose at Anaheim. Sharks, K22, that is 2. Anaheim, L65 is 7. The Ducks will beat up on the Sharks 7-2. Coyotes at the Thrashers. Phoenix, G63, that is 4. Atlanta, L22, that is 2. And Phoenix will double up Atlanta 4-2. Capitals and the Blackhawks. Washington, L46, that is 3. Chicago, N44, that's a big game for the Blackhawks. A 65 is plus 5 columns. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're rolling on column S's Chicago. 62 is 8. And the Blackhawks coming to play against Ovechkin and company, getting an 8-3 victory. Much to the delight of the hometown crowd. Avalanche and the Stars. Colorado, I-23, that is 2. Dallas, K66 is 8. Dallas will beat up on Colorado 8-2. Nashville at Los Angeles. Nashville, E62, that is 3. Los Angeles, M33. M33 is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are C's under pressure. Neither team can do anything with a 13 or a 41. That game is going to overtime. Los Angeles with a chance to win first. An M62 will do it all day long for Los Angeles. They will take that one 4-3 in overtime. St. Louis at Minnesota. Blues, G41, that is 2. Minnesota, J43, that is 3. Pressure situation for St. Louis. The Blues are a D under pressure. A D66 might let St. Louis score. An E51, Minnesota can't stop them. The Blues will score. They'll send this one into overtime, but Minnesota with a chance to win first. Which a J36 won't let them do. Neither can St. Louis get anything with a G26, which means we are going to a shootout. Both teams are C's in the shootout, round 1. Neither team will score in the first round of the shootout, round 2. St. Louis will, actually both teams, what do we say, C's in the shootout? Both teams will score, round 3. Neither team will score, round 4. An unanswered goal wins it here. Which Minnesota will get. They will take that one 4-3 in the shootout. Maple Leafs and the Islanders. Toronto, G23, that is 2. New York, E65, that is 4. The Islanders will double up the Maple Leafs 4-2. Flyers at the Rangers. Philadelphia, I-42, that is 3. New York, J22, that is 2. That's a pressure situation for the Rangers. They are an E under pressure. An E31 won't help New York. Actually, yeah, an E31 won't help New York. Philadelphia will take a 3-2 victory. Pittsburgh at Tampa Bay. Penguins, J32. J32 is 3. Tampa Bay, H45. That is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Pittsburgh is a C. Tampa Bay is an E. Pittsburgh with a C65 with a chance to score. An E53 for Tampa Bay won't stop the Penguins. They'll take the lead late. And now Tampa Bay needs the equalizer with their net empty. Tampa Bay with an E64 might get it, but Pittsburgh with a C63. Fleury will come up with a gigantic save on that one, and Pittsburgh will preserve a 4-3 victory. Arena groans. Ugh. Calgary at Vancouver. Flames, D56, that is 3. Canucks, P25, that is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Flames are a D, Canucks are a B. D23 won't help Calgary, neither will a B26 help Vancouver. That game is going to overtime. Canucks with a chance to win first. A P51 for Vancouver will get it done. The Canucks will take that one 4-3 in overtime. On to March 15th. Edmonton at Columbus. Edmonton, I-55, that is 4. Columbus, D23, that is 1. Edmonton will take a 4-1 victory. Detroit at Calgary. Red Wings, H63, that is 4. Flames, I-35, that is 3. And that's a pressure situation for Calgary. The Flames are a D under pressure. A D41 won't help Calgary. Detroit will get a 4-3 victory. Last up in this block, Bruins at the Devils. Boston, E26, that is 2. New Jersey, L42, that is 3. Pressure situation for Boston. The Bruins are an E under pressure. An E64 might help Boston, but a C62, Brodeur will come up with a huge save for New Jersey. He will preserve a 3-2 victory for the Devils. Arena cheers. Yay! That is your final score hockey by Downey Games for Block 37. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow, where are we going to be? Let's find out. So Block 38, our feature game day is going to be March 16th, 2010, and we've got every team playing in the NHL. So let me see if I need to resort the standings. I actually kind of do. So let me take a quick look here. Yes, let me do a quick sort. So I'm going to open up Excel on my laptop so I can do a quick sort and have the most accurate standings in front of me. Come on. Here we go. No, you can enable the macro. Yes, I want to make this a trusted document. And okay. So now that we've got that sorted out, now I've got the most accurate standings that I can look at here. I should... Yep, okay. So looking at our standings here, I'm really trying to... Actually, now I can actually close out of the document on my laptop and I'll reopen it in Excel. So now as we look at our most accurate standings, let's see. The Devils have actually crept into playoff contention. They're 6 points they're 6 points back of Toronto for a playoff spot, as is Tampa Bay, surprisingly. So we've got every team to choose from here on March 16th. Sabres and the Thrashers, that could be a good one. Well, that's potentially a 5-6 matchup, but they don't match up. So we'll mark that as a possibility. San Jose at Dallas. A divisional race, that could be a good one as well. Washington and Florida, Edmonton and Minnesota, not really. I don't like the idea of putting the Wild on the board when they're going nowhere. Flyers and the Predators, not really. Montreal and the Rangers, ick. 2 last place teams, no thank you. Toronto and Ottawa, ooh. Divisional matchup separated by 1 game. I really like that possibility. Colorado at St. Louis. 2 teams that are essentially would be out of the playoffs right now, so I'm going to kind of pass on that one. Phoenix and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is not really doing too hot. Islanders and the Canucks. That seems like it's going to be a blowout on paper. Blackhawks and the Ducks, that could be it. Well, actually, now we're getting into... So now we're getting past March 16th. We're getting past March 16th now. I think in terms of getting a quality matchup for the board, and to keep tiebreakers from getting somewhat screwed up. Actually, I think we're going to go with the 7-8 matchup in the East. So we're going to go up to I believe it's Canadian Tire Center is what it's called. Where is it? Here we are. We are going up to Canadian Tire Center in the capital of Canada, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, for a matchup between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators, and that will be in Stratomatic Hockey. That'll be sometime tomorrow. I don't know exactly when that'll be yet, but it will be tomorrow on the board. Could be potentially one of 2 games on the board, but we'll see about that. That's the one for sure. As for what else is coming up on the channel, Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue. Excuse me again. Jeez, I'm gaseous tonight. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Recipes from the World of H.P. Lovecraft cookbook as we make the dessert, Meteor Cakes. Speaking of Lovecraft, the 2025 Summer of Lovecraft will come to an end tomorrow in Elder Sign as we are tied 1-1 against Yog-Sothoth. Next week, Wednesday, we are playing another book game on the channel as we are playing The House on Sentinel Hill. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone. The Washington Capitals beat up on the Tampa Bay Lightning, getting 4 goals in the third period to win this one by a final score of 7-2. Once again, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow in Ottawa.